Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my Bellator 84 predictions. As far as the card goes, I am interested in seeing Richard Hale versus Alexander Volkov. I do want to see Held versus Jansen, but however, I really don't feel that these two are going to be threats to either Rick Hahn or Michael Chandler. I think it'll be a good fight, Held versus Jansen, but otherwise, yeah, nothing in their skill set really shows me that they can be threats to either Rick Hahn or Michael Chandler, whoever wins between the two. Joe Vedepo fights Louis Taylor, just kind of an okay fight there. There's a good prospect fight here, though, with Daniel Vizcaya versus Jack Hermansson, and it's on the main card. On the prelims, you got Felice Herrig, some prospects like Christian Uflacker and Cliff Wright. So it's not the best card, to be honest. It's alright. I do want to see Volkov versus Hale, especially. So yeah, let's get started. Richard Hale fights Alexander Drago Volkov. You know, Richard Hale, when he fought Thiago Santos in the last fight, almost got knocked out. But man, he stood in, he hung in there. He does have good boxing, and you know, he's one of the only guys in Bellator to do the reverse triangle choke, besides Toby Amada. One problem with Hale, though, is he leaves his chin really high, and that almost cost him the fight against Thiago Santos. Still pretty young, only 27 years old, 4-fight win streak, and he's doing pretty well. I mean, he's not a small heavyweight. He's always, even as a light heavyweight, he was like, what, 6'2", 6'3", maybe even 6'4", somewhere around there, you know. So he was always really tall, and you know, he doesn't look like a small heavyweight. Volkov's a guy that's been really impressing me as far as finding like a heavyweight prospect from Russia. I think they found a pretty good one here. Volkov, his striking, it's really good. He's really accurate. Strong output. This guy throws a lot of combinations, and he throws a lot. He moves really well for a guy his size. He's not a big heavyweight. I think he's a 220, maybe 230 tops heavyweight, and he trains at Rust Fighters camp that's really coming up in Bellator. Against his last fight against Vinicius Krorovs, though, I was not impressed. You know, I was kind of wary of his takedown defense. It wasn't very good. He seemed a little too content off his back. Luckily, Richard Hale is a guy that generally likes to box and likes to keep the fight standing, and I think they'll work into Alexander Volkov's favor. I like Richard Hale, but I gotta go with Volkov here. He's just someone that's I've been impressed with. I don't know if this is a 5-rounder, because as of right now, you know, Bellator doesn't have a heavyweight champion. So I think this is for the belt. I don't know if it's 3 rounds or 5 rounds, though. And if it is for 5 rounds, I'd favor Volkov, actually, even more. He goes 3 pretty good. His cardio is pretty good considering how much his output. So yeah, Alexander Volkov for the win here. Okay, next fight after that, Marcin Held fights Dave Jansen. You know, it's really hard to say how this fight's gonna go. I like Jansen. He has really good, he has strong wrestling, really good top control. In his last fight against Ricardo Toloni, he showed a really good chin and improving striking. However, I don't think he beat Toloni. I thought that Toloni got 2 rounds against Jansen. Marcin Held, this kid's got some leg locks. Showed against Rich Clemente. Uses positions like the 50-50 guard. And there's another new guard that's coming up in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that he used against Clemente. I totally forgot what it was. Held is really good off his back. His striking is improving, but he is kind of small for the weight class. This fight kind of fits in Held's wheelhouse, actually, because with Jansen, he can keep the fight stand if he wants, but he'll go to the ground with his opponent. That'll really work with Marcin Held, who rolls for like the half guard sweep, among other positions, tries to get 50-50, and really just constant rolls for leg locks. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Marcin Held to win this one. Next, right after that, Lewis Taylor fights Joe Vedepo. With Taylor, he's at a 7-3 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub, and also 2 losses by submission. With Vedepo, 14-5 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 7 wins by sub, and he trains at American Top Team. Vedepo won his last fight against Mark Bernhard by some weird, like, shin on. It's kind of like a shin on throat submission. Vedepo's been around the block. I think that he's going to win this one. Next fight after that, we have Jack Hermansson versus Daniel Vizcaya. Interesting fight here. I'm kind of a pick'em fight for me, actually, because Daniel's 6-2 record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub, and 2 losses by sub. So all of his wins and losses are by finish. He's only 27 years old, and he's on a 3-fight win streak, and he's never been past the second round. With Hermansson, this guy has some power in his hands. He's 5-0, undefeated, 4 wins by KO or TKO. Some of them were 1-punch knockouts, 1 win by sub. Tough fight for me to call, but like I said, kind of a pick'em fight, but I'll go with Jack Hermansson to win this one. Okay, on to the prelim card. Felice Herrig fights Patricia Vedanik. Patricia's taking this fight kind of on short notice. She's a replacement for, I think might be a Rodriguez, I'm not too sure. But with Felice Herrig, teams at Team Curran. She has a 7-4 record, 1 win by TKO, 2 wins by 7. She's 28. She's on a 2-fight win streak. And within that win streak, she already beat Patricia Vedanik at XFC 17. She has some pretty good boxing, and her grappling's improving. You can see her fight against like Carla Esparza, for example, to see that she really is working on her ground game. And also she trains with and Team Curran, who will help her in that aspect of MMA as well. And Patricia Vedanik, 7-3 record, 3 wins by sub, 4 wins by decision. I don't really see why this fight's going to go any differently. I gotta go with Felice Herrig to win this one. I'm kind of curious because this fight's 115, if I'm not mistaken. They just had a fight with Jessica Evil Eye and Zola Gurgel at 125. I'm a bit curious to see where they're going with their women's divisions. I think Bellator has a couple female fighters. They have like Mariana K-Fats, Jessica Aguilar, among others. So I'd like to see like a Felice Herrig fight in Invicta, and especially like Jessica Evil Eye, even Zola Gurgel. I'd like to see him fight at like Invicta. They kind of just, I don't know what they're fighting for in Bellator. That's the thing. Next fight is that Quentin McCottrell fights Kevin Give Me Your Lunch Money Nowasic. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I kind of just have a rule of thumb. I don't pick a guy that has a losing record. Quentin has 6 wins, 9 losses. 2 of his wins are by KO or TKO, 3 wins are by sub. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He's 25 years old. With Kevin, 12-2 record, 1 win by TKO, 8 wins by sub. He's only 23 on a 3-fight win streak. So I'm going to give the guy whose nickname is Give Me Your Lunch Money to win this one, Kevin Nowacek. Next fight after that, interesting fight here. This one's a good one. Christian Uflacker fights Cliff Wright. Cliff Wright, he's at 7-3 record. All 7 of his wins are by submission, and he does have a notable win over Dakota Cochran by rear naked choke at Resurrection Fighting Alliance. But Uflacker, he's 4-0 undefeated, 2 wins by sub, 2 wins by decision. He's 27 years old, and in his last fight, he beat LC Davis, who's a solid fighter. And he actually fought in Strikeforce and beat Jonatas Neves. So this fight's hard for me to call, but I'll go with the undefeated Christian Uflacker to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Anthony Gomez fights Anton Telemontis. Anton has a 5-2 record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. With Gomez, 6-2 record. Same deal. 2 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. I'll go with Anthony Gomez to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, Joey Deal fights Gerald Williams. With Deal, he has a 3-3 record, 1 win by TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by sub as well, but he's only 21 years old and trains at Team Curran. With Gerald Williams, 2-1 record, 1 win by sub, 1 win by decision. I'll go Joey Deal to win this one. Next 2 fights, I don't know much about these guys, but so they're just pick-em fights for me. Eddie Castillo fights Dave Sharp. Castillo has 0 wins and one loss in his record, that 1 loss being by decision. Dave Sharp has 1 win and no losses, so he's undefeated. He's 31. And his last fight went 21 seconds. I'll go with Dave Sharp to win this one. And finally, Robert Wright makes his pro MMA debut against Kenny Booker. With Booker, he has a 2-0 undefeated record, 1 win by sub, 1 win by decision. I'll go with Kenny Booker to win this one. So that's pretty much it for my Bellator 84 predictions. If you have any comments, just leave them below. That's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.